Well, welcome to the video. In this video, what I'll do is, and I'm going to start doing this a couple times a week, I'm going to go back through the trading day and I'm going to highlight the highest probability trades that exist within the RexDog trading system. These are the highest probability trades. There are many trades in between, especially if you're scalping. But these videos will specifically, I really want to make these videos for people that need to get back to the foundation and need to just be executing on the highest probability trades that the market presents on a given day. So for instance, today there are 6 high probability trades that really, if you look at the RexDog trading system as a probability, the probability that these trades were going to go in the direction that the RexDog trading system tells you was right around 70 to 80%, if not more. So these are high probability trades, and I'll go through some examples of low probability trades. But these videos are gonna be quick. I'm assuming that if you're new to the channel, or if you're not in the membership or in the training, then there's a lot of YouTube videos that I've created on my trading system that you can go through, you can find on the channel. If you're in the training, then what I'm saying really is that I'm not going to dive into indicators. I'm just going to jump right in. I want these videos to be really quick. I'd like to do them within 5 or 6 minutes, if not less. This one will probably be a little bit longer because I'm just going to get into the swing of creating them. I'd like to do this at least 2 to 3 times a week. And I'd like to do it on different days. Today was a pretty obvious day once it calmed down on the trades that you should execute. So the first thing we're going to look at here is we're going to go, this is the standard RexDog system 4-chart setup that you trade for trading futures. And I should have mentioned before, we're going to just cover the MNQ, the micro NASDAQ futures, and we'll jump over to TradingView and look at the actual cash market here, because really today was a day of whether or not it wanted to hold the weekly open. So the first thing that I would typically start on before market opens in my pre-session is I want to see where the overnight market was. And if we look here, so on the 60-minute chart, we see that the overnight session held momentum, or it held bias, and the bias was long. And then actually, as the market opened, it was starting to switch to momentum long. So the first thing that we would identify here is we would identify that we have a key level here on the 60-minute, which it's going to try to reach for, which is right here, right around the 369 handle, 11369. So that would be going into this open. That would be what we would first identify. We would also identify, it'd be very clear using just simple 60-minute level rules, that the RDA test down here, right around 120, was our lower end of that actual range that was set in the overnight. The overnight session is not something that I put less credence in overnight levels, but it's still a level that exists. So going into the open, these are the 2 levels that we have on the 60-minute that are the most important levels. You should identify your top level, should identify your low level. The first thing that the market did, and we'll jump over to the 5-minute chart here, is, and there's 6 high probability trades. Now, when the market opened, the first 45 minutes of trading, there are great trades in here, especially for a scalper. But the level of experience, or the level of trader you need to be to execute the trades in the first 45 minutes that exist here are not high probability. You need to have much more market experience, you need to be taking profits quickly, and you need to have the right entries. So there's no high probability trades within the first 45 minutes. The first high probability trade comes right around 9:15, and that's after. So the market opened up, it created obviously the low, the opening range low, and it created an opening range high. And then it went on and exceeded that high and had a rejection from this high. Your first signal on the 5-minute chart that correlates to the other charts is right here, right around 9:15, a little bit before that. You actually got the signal a little bit sooner on the other charts here, but that's your first signal. So that was a good trade. You can see this trade all the way down, and not only did it break the 50% OR, it went all the way down and it did an overextension of the actual opening range low. So that was a pretty good trade. It only took probably what, 20 or about 30 minutes to actually unfold, and momentum on both the small tick and big tick charts backed up this trade entirely. The next trade is at 9:45 when when the break of the OR low happens, you're expecting for a reaction. That's just common in the RexDog trading system. You're looking for reactions. This would have been a fade trade back up to the momentum indicators. On the other charts, the signal came before the 5-minute signal to execute this trade. Now, this is another trade. Now, if we actually go, and I'm going to jump over to TradingView, because this one thing that TradingView shows us is that the narrative of the day, especially when you're looking at the cash market, the narrative of the day in this line that you see here that is white or orange, this is the weekly open for the NDX, which is actually the cash market, the index. The narrative of this day, yesterday was Monday, and it was a narrative of whether or not it wanted to hold the weekly open. And it just played around within this range of the weekly open. The morning session was all about, up until about noon or just shy of 1 o'clock, at least Central Standard Time, was whether or not it wanted to break through and hold the weekly open. And you can see here, once it finally decided, it tested it, it rejected it. Once it finally decided right here to actually break through with some strength and actually cause a decent pay attention candle, it held momentum all through the afternoon. And I actually called this move. I also called the end of the target here, which is really the opening range high and the high for the day. So if we go back to the chart and we talk about the other trades, the next trade that existed was right around 10:20. These are all Central Standard Times, even though I'm not on that time zone right now. My charts are still on that. These are all Central Standard Times. This was a reaction right around the OR 50. You didn't have a lot of room, so you had to take profits quickly because this was really a fade trade. This was a fade trade as well. This was a fade trade as well. It wasn't until the next trade here, right around 11:35, that you started really having to look at the charts, all the charts in combination with the 5-minute chart, where then you started to have strong momentum and bias, and then your trades became strictly momentum trades. There were still fade trades within here, but the fade trades just weren't as probable as the momentum trades. So you can see the next, when the bias and the momentum officially switched on the 5-minute chart, on the big tick chart as well, levels started to be held and the momentum shifted there. Also, the downside levels, when they were tested, they were always closed above. The one thing I will say is that you have this high on the 60-minute, which is really, when you're looking at the momentum here and you're saying, okay, if it captures the 50% OR and it holds momentum, what's the next probable target? The next probable target obviously is the high, the opening range high. It's an easy call. And in the afternoon session, you had 3 opportunities that were really good trade entries to get into that trade. The first one was the best entry, was right around 11:35. The next one was right here, a retest of the RDA on the 5-minute, which then correlates back to a big tick test of the RDA as well. And that was on candle 68 here. That was the best trade entry for the afternoon, impulse up to the opening range high. And then you had another opportunity if you were trading late into the session, right around 2:50, so 10 minutes before the market closed, a little bit before that. I actually called this in Discord. So if you're in Discord, I called this publicly. I said, look, I used to trade this all the time. I used to just sometimes take a break and then come in the last 30 minutes and just do some really crazy scalping. You got to be a good trader to do the kind of back and forth scalping. But sometimes the market gives you opportunities like this where it's clear that it's either going to break down from this level or it's going to reach for the obvious level of the day, which is the opening range high and the high for the day. And that's what it did. So really within 20 minutes, less than that, you had a good entry signal and you had a target made within 20 minutes of trading. And then pretty much it just ranged up until settlement. So those are the 6 high probability trades for the day. Like I said, if join Discord down below. There's a link down below to join Discord. If you have questions about this, or if you have suggestions on how I can make this better, how I can make this more clear. Like I said, I don't want to actually get into the indicators and explain the indicators. What I want to do and this is really for people that need to get back to the fundamentals, is I want to provide the areas of a chart based on the trading day that are the high probability trades. And what you should do within the 4 chart layout and even trading view is you should look at these areas and you should easily be able to create rules of you stealing my trade system. And I did say steal. I probably should use a better word. I don't believe you should copy my trade system. I believe you should adopt it and make it your own and create your own rules. So if I have rules that the way I trade my system that don't fit your style or your personality, then you need to create rules that protect yourself from bad trading habits that you make. But the simple fact remains is that within the system, there are very clear high probability trades. If I were to identify every trade on this chart that would be a fade and a momentum trade, we'd probably have 15 trades that would qualify as RexDoc trade system trades that would meet 80% of the rules. But what I want to provide here is I want to provide a foundation of only the best trades. The 6 trades you see here in the times here, when you correlate them to the charts and then you add the rules, are the 6 highest probable trades that exist in the trading day that happened today. And the trading day today, I don't even know what the date is. Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. So that's the trading day. Once again, I'll probably do this in 1 or 2 days. I want to try to do this 2 or 3 days a week. If you have any suggestions or anything else, join Discord, leave me a comment there. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.